Get ready for the action, because we are diving straight into the biggest moves, shaking up the NFL landscape. We start with the San Francisco 49ers and head coach Kyle Shanahan revealing a major offseason target. Shanahan just laid out his long-standing interest in cornerback Nate Hobbs, detailing exactly why this versatile player has been on the team's radar for years and what kind of impact he could make in the secondary starting in 2026. We break down the history of this player's journey and Shanahan's specific reasons for wanting him in the building. This is a story about patience paying off and building depth for the future.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we are dissecting the incredibly high-stakes gamble the 49ers took in the 2026 NFL Draft. Kyle Shanahan admitted that their strategy wasn't about blind confidence. It was a calculated move based on avoiding regret. We're looking at how the team made 8 picks with 0 first-rounders, and how Shanahan used proprietary data to justify drafting players like De'Zhaun Stribling and Kalen Black, betting on arbitrage against the public market. Find out the deep math behind their strategy, and whether this high-risk, high-reward approach is the key to their future success. Now, we pivot to the roadmap for the San Francisco 49ers' future. We're going inside Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch's early 2026 draft strategy to understand the philosophy behind the 8 picks. Shanahan explained that the priority wasn't instant contributions, but long-term stability, focusing on players who can fill multiple roles and earn their spot on a deep roster. We examine how this approach prioritizes roster sustainability over immediate impact, and what it means for the incoming rookies in training camp. Finally, we look at the controversy surrounding one of those key picks. Albert Breer has weighed in on the perceived reach of the San Francisco 49ers' selection of wide receiver De'Zhaun Stribling. Breer offers an insider's perspective on how the team reacted to the rising stock of Stribling and whether the initial high-round selection was truly a mistake. Don't miss this analysis to see if the Niners managed to change the narrative on this prospect. And let us know in the comments who you trust to make the final 53-man roster. San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan has confirmed a long-standing interest in cornerback Nate Hobbs, suggesting the player could be a key off-season addition with significant potential for the 2026 season. Speaking to reporters at the NFL's annual meetings in Phoenix on Monday, Shanahan detailed the history of the team's pursuit of Hobbs. Hobbs, who played for the Las Vegas Raiders from 2021 to 2024, first caught Shanahan's eye during joint training camp practices. Shanahan stated, "When I first noticed Nate, when we go against the Raiders, scrimmaging against him and stuff, he's a guy we've tried to get for a while. We actually talked about trying to trade for him a couple of years ago." Shanahan highlighted Hobbs' versatility, noting, "He's been a hell of a nickel to go against. He's played outside. I like when you get a guy who can fill in anywhere and try to earn a spot." Although Shanahan praised Hobbs' adaptability, he indicated that the team has not seriously considered deploying him at safety yet. Shanahan added, "I haven't thought about him much at safety. Just knowing the guy, going against him, I'm sure there's nothing he can't do in the secondary." Hobbs, a 5th-round pick in 2021, brings valuable depth to the 49ers cornerback unit, which currently features Diamador Lenoir and Renardo Green at outside cornerback, alongside second-year defensive back Upton Stout in the nickel role. The move signals Shanahan's continued belief in Hobbs' potential to bolster the defense. The San Francisco 49ers have unveiled an unconventional and highly debated strategy for the 2026 NFL Draft, securing 8 picks that defy mainstream media consensus. Coach Kyle Shanahan admitted the draft's results were mixed, yielding 0 first-rounders and a range of draft grades from A- to C- across major outlets. Shanahan defended the approach, revealing that the 49ers are not drafting based on confidence, but on the regret avoidance of securing players they believe are undervalued. He stated that the team is drafting based on proprietary evaluations, an internal system inaccessible to external analysts. The strategy involved significant roster maneuvering, including trading linebacker D. Winters for a fifth-round pick and flipping pick 133 to Baltimore for future capital, pushing resources into rounds 2 through 5. Shanahan framed rounds 2 and 3 as the optimal zone, arguing that round 1 was weaker than in previous years. Key selections included wide receiver De'Zhaun Stribling at number 33 and Kalen Black at number 90, both of whom were graded lower by the broader market. Shanahan justified these picks by citing extensive personal observation, claiming he had watched the players he desired go 2 picks too early, suggesting the team is betting its internal assessment is superior to the public market. Financial strategy is central to the plan. The 49ers entered the draft with substantial cap space, created by converting significant salary into signing bonuses. Shanahan emphasized that every pick must compete for a roster spot, focusing on immediate contributors on cheap contracts to maximize cap efficiency. This volume approach accepts a roughly 50-50 success rate, relying on cost savings to offset any misses. Defensively, the draft focused heavily on the front four. Picks included Romelu Height at pick 70 and defensive tackle Grayson Halton in the early day 3 range. Analysts highlighted Halton as a potential breakout star, suggesting he could quiet the debate if he performs well. The team also addressed positional needs by selecting Romelu Height to replace Bryce Huff and Carver Willis to address an interior line drought. Furthermore, the team pursued archetypal fits, such as cornerback Ephesians Prysock, based on body type rather than statistics. The strategy extends beyond the draft, with the addition of tight end Khalil Dinkins as an undrafted free agent, reinforcing the buy cheap, buy young philosophy. Ultimately, the 49ers' success hinges on trusting their internal evaluation system over media buzz. Shanahan's approach signals a formal defection from consensus-driven evaluation, asserting that the roster composition in September, not draft grades, will determine success. The Baltimore trade is noted as a calculated move to convert present value into future flexibility, fueling the team's sustained targeting of mid-round talent. The San Francisco 49ers' early 2026 draft strategy, as revealed through comments from head coach Kyle Shanahan and general manager John Lynch, emphasizes long-term roster depth and future stability over immediate rookie impact. Shanahan characterized the draft outcome by stating, "It will be a challenge for all 8 of these guys to make our team," signaling a clear prioritization of building a sustainable roster for the future rather than addressing immediate needs. The team departed the draft weekend with 8 picks, 2 more than initially planned, with front office commentary consistently focusing on acquiring value rather than reacting to urgent deficiencies. Shanahan further elaborated that the team intentionally passed on certain positions if the prospect did not surpass existing roster talent, a strategy indicative of a team focused on long-term continuity. John Lynch supported this view, noting that the team had achieved significant depth at positions like linebacker, which provided crucial flexibility for future trades while maintaining comfort regarding the addition of future assets. This depth implies that rookie development camps will focus less on ceremonial integration and more on competing against established veterans who already align with staff preferences. While a deep 90-man roster is healthy, it inherently limits opportunities for late-round newcomers. The draft process highlighted a strong emphasis on players possessing multi-positional capabilities. For instance, Jadon Duggar was cited as a versatile option capable of playing multiple linebacker spots, and Carver Willis is anticipated to transition internally after playing tackle in college. This flexibility is strategically sound for a team with a deep core, suggesting that for rookies seeking an early impact, demonstrating versatility may be the most effective route. The 49ers' continued contention necessitates a cautious approach, ensuring that roster spots are not gifted to players who are not yet prepared to contribute. Shanahan's candid assessment underscores that not every draft is about instant roles. Often, the goal is ensuring strong connections and stability across the next 2 seasons, positioning the team to maintain a roster where new additions must actively earn their standing. An insider analysis suggests that criticism leveled against the San Francisco 49ers general manager John Lynch and head coach Kyle Shanahan regarding their reach in the 2026 NFL Draft, specifically concerning the selection of Ole Miss wide receiver De'Zhaun Stribling, may be overstated. The selection of Stribling with the 33rd overall pick was widely perceived as an overreach, given that he was generally viewed as a late second or early third-round prospect. However, Sports Illustrated writer Albert Breer offered a nuanced perspective, arguing that the 49ers were not acting blindly. Breer indicated that before the draft, he estimated Stribling would have been drafted around the 35th overall pick. While acknowledging that the 49ers ultimately grabbed him in the second round, Breer explained that the team was motivated by a desire not to lose the prospect, as the draft prices were not ideal and other teams were showing interest. Breer noted that the 49ers pushed for the selection because they felt the opportunity to secure Stribling at pick 33 was fleeting. Furthermore, Breer pointed out that Stribling is a prime example of a late-rising prospect whose buzz accelerates rapidly just before the draft, often preceding widespread analyst consensus. Ultimately, Breer concluded that the narrative surrounding the selection rests on the 49ers' ability to turn the rookie receiver into a standout player, as the perceived reach will persist unless the performance validates the pick.